Let me double check that everything is working. I actually don't know how to check if a YouTube stream is working. Check if a YouTube stream is working. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Cool. So now I have that. Should be good. Question mark. No, hold on. That may be. There we go. Make sure my audio is half decent at least. There's that reasonable. Man, I forgot how long my latency is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, okay. My latency isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. There's that reasonable. All right. Man, I forgot how long my latency is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, okay. My latency isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. There's that reasonable. Perfect, perfect, cool. And there, let's stop the echoing nonsense now. All right. So, I first want to introduce a little bit of what I'm doing here, what this is. This is a series that I'm tentatively calling Yu-Gi-Oh! Synergy Speedrun, mostly because I don't have a better name for it. Um, and the basic idea of it is I come from a Magic background, playing a lot of Magic, doing a lot of deck building in Draft, in things like Standard, in Pioneer, in Modern, Legacies, where I spend a lot of my time, and Pauper, of course. But there's a lot of deck building inherent to those formats. A lot of times the top decks will change pretty substantially from event to event, and so there's a pretty big culture of deck building in Magic. Maybe that's changed a bit. I no longer am as deep into the competitive scene as I used to be, but at least when I was going a little bit harder into Magic, everyone built their own decks. You had to, right? That's how you got to edge over people at the top levels, because it was a combination, right, of your play and your deck building. Versus in Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a lot of deck building, but I also see a lot of people. There's not as much out there about deck building. I don't see as much content about how to build um, decks and synergies beyond archetypes. And I think archetypes are a big part of that. Archetypes really push you into building X number of engine pieces, X number of non engine pieces, and calling it a day. When I think there's a lot more interesting things in Yu Gi Oh! Um, and so I want this series to be me exploring that. I think one of the best ways to look into that is going to be as the Genesis format, that's a little bit lower powered because I think this is workable in advance, and I'm going to try this in advance. But I think in Genesis especially, a lot of these low point synergies that aren't necessarily archetypical are really going to drive the format. I mean, they're driving the format right now. As you could probably see behind me right now, servicing Big Jaws and Seventh Tachyon, and that's what I want this first episode to be. Um, it's complicated what makes a synergy in any game, especially a game like Yu-Gi-Oh that doesn't have that typical sort of streaming or sort of deck building thing of anything like colors or deck restrictions. Instead, being far more in the what's the word? Uh, hmm. How would I describe it actually? I don't know how to describe it, but deck building in Yu-Gi-Oh is still very complicated, and you can do a lot of interesting things with it. And I want to try some of those things. Oh God, my bad. There, there we go. Bring it back. Um, but yeah, I want to try a couple things with Genesis deck building to begin with. Um, so this first episode, I want to go with the obvious one that everyone is seeing everywhere in Genesis right now, servicing big draws in seventh Tachyon. But as you might see over here with the wheel, I want to look at a few more different things. I have my pet decks. I really love zombies. I really love Anea Craft, but Anea Craft is obviously in advanced only, so I want to see what can happen there. I think there are some neat things you can do there. But today, I want to focus on servicing big draws and seventh Tachyon. And so the concept of this series is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to go from these two cards as my synergy, probably as 3-ofs, though not always as 3-ofs, and in 2 hours try to build a full deck built around just this synergy. And so if we go over here to... Oh. Let me Ah! Jeez Louise. Sign in real quick. Hello? What is going on with my settings today? Sorry. Genuinely, what is going on with my settings today? Alright. But this should work now. But yes, yeah, starting with a brand new deck of just surfacing big draws and seventh Tachyon, trying to in 2 hours make a fully functional deck out of this in just 2 hours. So to begin with, I mean, I guess I might as well just start the timer. There. While I'm doing this, I want to talk through what I'm doing as I do it. So the big synergy of seventh Tachyon and servicing big draws is that serves seventh Tachyon with any water Xyz level 4. So if I just nope, not archetype, a monster, an Xyz that is a nope, not attribute water. And so see it's between 101 and 107, monster from your deck with the same type or attribute as that monster. And in this case, so it's water, a rank 4, and of course must be 101 to 107, so 10. So this gives us two options, Ragna 0, a Fairy Xyz, or 101 Silent Honor Arc. Both of these are 0 points in Genesis, so 101 Silent Arc is a very good card, but I also might look into Fairy. That's interesting, but for now we'll just put these here, and the big idea is servicing big draws can then be special summoned because you've used a spell, can then bring a fish shark monster from your deck to your hand, and so the typical target for this is a fish monster with shark in its name. There are a couple of viable targets. Probably the best target just off rip is going to be Drake Shark, which is Poplar. It's Poplar. But there are a couple other interesting things you could do. There's Wind-Ups, which is not good, but is funny. There's Right Hand Shark. I'm not going to be doing Right Hand Shark right off rip. There's Buzzsaw Shark, which is interesting because this is a normal summon, but it acts as an extender. What are the other ones that can special summon themselves? That is not what Cutter Shark does. That's a different card. Okay, so sure, Kraken, this is not good, but that's funny. Here you go. Here's another one, Abyss Shark. This is another card you can get, right? Because it doesn't specify a level. It's a fish shark. And this is really where you can do some weird stuff with it because it allows you to, with 0 normal summon, get a rank 4. And that's really what it's for at the end of the day in most decks, is to get a rank 4. But I think you could do a lot more with this. I don't want to go into sharks. I don't know if sharks are necessarily the most viable, but we already noticed off rip, right? 7th Tachyon can get you servicing big draws, but, can tutor basically anything in the game. So we could do something, treat it like a small world to get into any sort of weird combo and have multiple decks that all funnel through 7th Tachyon. I don't love that because I don't like relying on one card to funnel all our plays through. But I do like the idea that this can get us into something else. So what are the clear options off of this? Drake Shark. We want one shark in the. Is that how this works, right? A shark drake. So we want a shark drake. Which in this case would be So this has to be level 4, so we'd want just OG Shark Drake to get a potential spell suck. It's not great, but it's something we can do. It does require 3 level 4s, but it's not a bad card by any means. But another thing that was here that did actually look a little interesting is Wind Up Shark. So Wind Up's not the best deck right now, but you can do a lot of things with Wind Up. And nothing we have is any points. So even though Wind Up, Zenmaides was 100 points, I think, we might want to look into this. See what you can do with Wind Up. Oh, okay, it's a Wind Up. So Wind Up Hunter, 86 cards. This isn't worth it for us in any means. Zenmaides only 15 points. That's not bad. It is also a water, and I believe that is the restriction. The Xyz summon of a water monster, level 3 or level 5. That's interesting. So this does make 7th Tachyon a body plus a wind-up monster. That's pretty good, because that does give us, that makes 7th Tachyon a Zenmaide. I think this is worth looking into. Yeah, I want to try this out, see what we can do with this. So this is where things are going to get really rough. I have no experience with wind-up. I don't know how wind-up decks look to begin with. And so this is where, here is when I would then look at something like Yugioh Pro Deck and look in their deck categories. I don't imagine there will be any recent tournament decks. Correct. But I can sort of look to see advanced deck search, decks by archetype, and see what wind-up decks do look like. So these are going to be some non-meta decks, but I want to see what people are trying with this. Wind-up Shark, Magician, and Rescue Cat. That's interesting. Rescue Cat to get you just rank 3s, and creating rank 3s in the form of Emerald, and then doing Utopic Draco Future to... Okay, so this is interesting, and is running an Armored Xyz package. And this actually does give me an idea for something. So one of the things we got was Servicing Big Jaws, but there is another shark card you can get with Servicing Big Jaws that I know of. And that is Armored Shark. Now, I would not actually tutor Armored Shark, but Armored Shark comes to mind because this is an Armored Xyz card. And so if we were to Armored and get into a full armor line, not full armored, just armored. What am I on about? And this is an Xyz monster. It's full armor Xyz Armor Fortress. Here we go. So what can we do with this? This gets us 2 materials, so we can get these 2. Attach up to material. If a monster equipped with this card deals battle to a monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. So kind of like a turn 3 OTK tool. That's okay. And then is Armored Shark actually any help to us? Armored Shark is... You can send a Water Exceeds monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, target a fish monster on your graveyard at the same level as Rick, special summon it during your opponent's turn to target a Water Exceeds monster you control, equip this card as an equip spell. So that second part doesn't matter, but being able to send a Water Exceeds from deck to, or from extra deck to graveyard is definitely not bad. What? So if we had... What can we do with that? What Water Exes have graveyard effects? Alright, let's see. What mentions the graveyard? This Xyz summon card is special summon Odd Eyes. Okay, well, I don't think we can do Odd Eyes. Do. No, this only cares if it was Xyz summoned. What does this one do? This is only if it's sent. Only if it's been Xyz summoned. Only if it's been Xyz summoned. Can we do anything with that? It doesn't actually look like it does anything. That's a little rough. That makes me less inclined to use. But Xyz Armored line is still pretty strong. It is still... I mean, it allows us to use up a spent Xyz, a spent Zenmaity, for example, right? So I don't hate it, but I don't think we want Armored Shark in this line. I don't think Armored Shark brings us anything. So if we don't want to use Armored Shark, what else are we doing? I guess we have the wind up Zenmaity, so we want to go a little bit harder into wind up. It is a soft once per turn, so we probably want 3 because I imagine we will be able to get there with the power of both 7th Tachyon and wind up as just its own thing. What wind-ups can we just get on the field? That's pretty big. This gives us an extra one. Okay, so we probably want 3 of these. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Rabbit. Quick effect, target a wind-up monster, banish it. Okay. What does this one do? Oh, it provides protection. That's not nothing. Especially in Genesis, where they're not necessarily OTKing you. That's worth consideration. Increases cards level by 2. Okay, that's not actually that big of a deal. That's pretty big. That just gets us a second. This turns a Zenmaity into a second Zenmaity. Though this is probably only something we want from our deck, so we might only want one of it. We can get back to that later. Target one monster your opponent controls returns to the hand. It's fine. Fine. That's not as good. Destroyed by battle and into the graveyard. Special summon. Only when destroyed by battle makes that rough. I don't think we want any of those. Destroying set cards isn't really that relevant, I don't think. Turn, you can detach one exterior, one face up. Huh. What is the purpose of this? So, what do any of these do? Why do we care? Huh. Now that's interesting. I do really like the wind-up angle. I think we can do a lot with wind-ups. Just where do we go from here? I guess. So we have what? We have a fire spellcaster, earth. I guess fire spellcaster is kind of our only. So if we want to look at a. Nope. Should we fire 1-0? What does this do? I don't know if that's ever coming up. Okay, this is more likely. If he, okay, well, Battlenet Boxer. This is not like a card we're ever summoning, but it does get us a wind-up. Well, we don't want wind-up magician is the issue, huh? What is the starter for a wind-up deck? Now that's interesting. Um. Hmm. I guess. I mean, what? Rabbit is 0 points, right? So, or not rabbit. Geez. All the rescues are 0 points. That's fun. These are only normal monsters, right? Okay, so it's going to just be rescue cat to get beasts. What beast? Wind up a rat. Okay, so that one doesn't work. So rescue cat and the rescue warrior. This one I don't even remember what this does. Okay, yeah, nothing. Okay, yeah. So rescue cat, and so we want level 3 beasts now. So level 3 beasts are Maladoche. Not to be guard dog shenanigans. guess this is where like one dog comes in as a rescue target. Huh. And then on top of that, wind up dog. Wait, do they have to be different names? They're not, so we just run 3 rats. Is that the play? That's probably the play. In which case, we don't need to run you. Let me just double check that there's not anything interesting here. So I do know the beast pool is pretty deep. So undo, okay. Wouldn't I don't know ever what any of the Nordic beasts do. Okay. Okay, so effects are on the kid, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, cubics. I guess I should double check to make sure the infernity. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that is definitely more interesting now. But now we want a level 4. Or actually, I should just look up what all the 1-0 somethings are. 9 dragon. Sorry, 9 lighter dragon, 8 lighter dragon. Let's just do this by name. Okay, so Silent Honor Arc. So level 4 fairy. Okay. Level 4 water fairy. Level 4 spellcaster light. Level 4 warrior fire. Level 4 earth. This does make Giant Hand a turn Seventh Tachyon into a starter because you can get Rescue Cat with. Alrighty. Is there anything better? I don't think so because these are all going to be higher level. Yeah, it appears that our answer is number 106 Giant Hand. Man, okay. If we're doing that, then we want just full Tachyon. 7th Tachyon. Put in 3 7th Tachyon. If we're doing this, in that case, we probably can get rid of the Abyss Shark and Drake Shark, because this is just a wind-up deck using these as searchers and starters. So what this is, what's the card I'm thinking of that searches 7th Tachyon? Does it search a 7th? Is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, this one. Oh wait, no, not this one. This is the bad one. 7th Ascension. There we go. Okay, yeah, 7th Ascension, because that's 3 more copies. Nope, not what I'm trying to do. Okay, in that case, big draws is also just good to have. So we want 3 surfacing big draws. Probably don't need a Drake, because if we are exclusively using this to get a wind-up shark, I guess I should see just... So wind-up factory, if we are all in on the wind-up thing, this does get something to our hand. Is this a once per turn? This is not a hard once per turn. This is also not a hard once per turn. Okay, that seems problematic. I like how anyone who's played through wind up format is probably going crazy, and I'm just like, wow, I've never seen these cards before. But yeah, this should work pretty decently. I think so, at least. I guess the question then becomes, what else am I doing here? Wind Up Magician is still pretty decent. This just gets an extra summon. I probably want full rabbits, right? Because this is just... Oh, this is also not a once, huh? So yeah, this is just not really interruption, but it's protection. It keeps things around. Huh. Guess what am I doing, though, now that I have all of this? What's the other wind-up do? What is it? Zen mains. What's this do? Would be destroyed once per turn during the end phase. It's just a big beater, but it is in archetype. It's a protection for Dark Hole. It's a way we can do something if there's a Dark Hole. Sure, I can throw one of those in. The extra deck's not super tight right now, especially since this is looking to be out now. I think we do want a Shark Drake, because what do we do if we have a Rescue Hat in hand and a 7th Tachyon? So now this just means that if we have a Servicing Big Jaws, a Rescue Cat, or the 7th Tachyon, we can kind of do whatever the hell we want. I like that. I don't know what we do if we get just Big Jaws in hand and get a Shark Drake. In that case, so we probably don't want a Bishark, because none of these are numbers. Yeah, it also can only be a rank 4. Okay, so in that case, what can we do with rank 4s? I mean, everything and anything, but what's something we can actually do with just rank 4s and rank 3s? And not really having a whole lot of archetypical support. So let's just do some rank 3s. Yes, I know there's a bajillion rank 3s, but there's some interesting stuff here, I know. Constellars... That's not anything. Um, that's funny. I don't think that's actually anything. The Virtue Dragon. This one does stuff, right? It's add a Virtue Stream from your deck to your hand. Um, we're already running kind of high on bricks. I don't know how I feel. Probably not. I'll put it in the pile for now, but we can always cut it later, I suppose. Leviathan Dragon. This one. What do we want with Leviathan Dragon? Does this do anything for us? I used to know what card cared about this too. There's something that cares about having when Xyz monster activates its effect. I can't think of its name. I know this is good in something, but I can't remember what. Okay, this is insect stuff. What do we talk? Oh, this is like a gift to your opponent card. A special summon you has. That's funny. I don't know if that's particularly good. No, I don't really want to do rank up shenanigans. Shark's easy. This one's funny, right? You place a shark counter. Yeah, cool. That's funny. Not very good. This is another one that's funny, but not very good. Um, that's interesting. That is just a spell destruction. Spell trap destruction. That's something. One of these things stops destruction. Yeah, that's fun. I don't think we'll be running any Phantom Knights, but this does have some fun synergies. So sure, I'll try that for now. Totem Bird. This one's a spell negate. 10's some points, but we are pretty low on points. We're on 45 points, so I'll look at that. What does this do? Cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay, that's not really anything for us. Alright. I want to just double check through. I definitely did not look up the rest of the windups, so because there's a couple more we were missing. Yeah. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay, no, that's not anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that is anything. So then, if that's actually all we can do, I don't know if we want to go in on this. I think I prefer the Drake Shark angle. I know that's a lot of wasted time here, but that's a lot of points for a spell trap negate. I'll look at some more rank 4s, because we are going to be looking at rank 4s no matter what. It is kind of what this is best at, but this is probably something we're doing, right? Just card draw. It's probably something we're doing regardless, with any kind of like Xyz spam deck. That's... And yeah, that card's 100 points. Yeah, that's not really anything either. Huh. I don't actually love the wind-up synergy as much as I thought I would. Um, Rocks. I don't think we're doing anything with rocks, actually. This card does something stupid, right? Machines. Yeah, you can do some stupid stuff with that. This is funny. Actually, I genuinely think I prefer that. It's probably going to be even brickier, but I feel it's more flexible. 7th Tachyon Earth Machine? Surely nothing has ever gone wrong from those words being spoken. Um, yeah, sure. Um, I'll still keep this on here because that is still something that can be done, but gonna have to get rid of most of these rank 3s because we're not gonna actually be able to summon rank 3s. So always mix up subtype and attribute. Earth Machine. Earth Machine. Ba, 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 ba. Level 4 Earth Machine, baby. Give me a level 4 Earth Machine. The Scrapper's a level 4 Earth Machine, right? Here, give me level. What are we doing here? There's Trencher. I know you, Trencher. Roy. Cool. Yeah. No. We're good. Okay. I don't think we need to be doing roid stuff. This is very funny, not particularly helpful. Can I not do toy box? That would be preferred. Probably can avoid doing toy box. Can I avoid doing it? Yeah, we can avoid toy box. What do we actually get to do with Earth Machine, I guess, is kind of the question. Scrap, what's it called? I mean, Checker, that should be 0 points, right? Checker. And that's a that's a good normal summon, if nothing else. Um, no, that's a level 5, isn't it? Man, can we not do Gen X? We don't need to do Gen X. We definitely don't have to do Gen X. Uh, Gearbox. Fuck. That is pretty decent, isn't it? Uh, shit. I think this might be a box deck. I'll look at it with box. I'm gonna try to cut box if I can do anything without box. I just hate box so much, man. um, yeah, we don't need roids. Machina Soldier, normal summon while you control no other monster, special summon a Machina. Okay, we're not doing Machinas. I could have sworn maybe it's like a level 3 or something. Planet Pathfinder's funny. It's definitely funny, but I don't think we're going to be doing anything like that. Inker Drill, yeah. There's a monster from your hand. And basically all of Earth Machine is 2 cards. Does this help me with anything, though? I think it kind of does. Being just a level 4 is nice. Um, what do we even do here? Monster Express. I've never read this card, or I've read this card, but it's been a while. Same original type of. Okay, that's not anything actually. Because I actually only know Earth Machine and like Train specifically from like Link. Checker is a level 4. It cannot be normal summoned if you control a monster. You contribute this card. That's a little rough. That you can't be normal summoned if you control a monster. Especially summon a machine monster from your deck who's attacking you. Huh. Scrap Recycler. That's pretty good. I think with Earth Machines, what can we do with this, though? I guess is the comment. Here's the question. I guess we try to go for. I actually don't know what we try to go for. I heard somebody talk about Machina trains. I don't know what Machina trains actually looks like in this kind of format, but I think that's something that would be interesting to try to explore just on my own. Super Heavy Samurais. Super Heavy Samurais are going to be interesting. Okay, that's not actually anything. Uh, bu- 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 Harvester. I need Harvester if I'm gonna do train stuff. Where's Harvester? Hello? Oh, Junkaribo. I should know what this card does. That's funny. That's not good, but that is funny. Alright, let me... Harvester. Box, I hate box so much. If I can make this work without box, I will do that. Every time. Machine special summons card from the graveyard. I mean, we have like 8 sends for the course of this. Yeah, we'll get a road roller in there. This is definitely for the rest of this turn. Yeah. Cool. These are all nice. Probably cutting this. Tribute 1 Earth Machine monsters. This card from your hand in defense position at a spin turn. I probably don't need spin turn, to be honest. What we're doing... Are we doing Switchyard? Is Switchyard in this deck? So I guess the question. Because if Switchyard is in this deck, I think doing... some shenanigans is interesting. 5 into shuffle in the deck, draw 2 cards. That's not really going to be helpful here, I don't think. Card from your hand, defense position. How much is Outrigger? Is Outrigger free? If Outrigger's not free, I'll be sad. But it is free. Screw it. Let's try this. River Stormer. Does River Stormer do anything for us? Yeah, it's just like part of the combo, isn't it? I don't need to. We don't have links, so we can't do that. We don't have links. Are we using Earth Slicer as just a mass destruction? I don't think we can justify that, and we don't have links. That's... man, not having links makes this really awkward, actually. What are the... Earth machines? Where are they? What the hell is this one? If a machine master doesn't feel this card is become low. It's a free special summon, sure. I don't love this card, I'll be real. But that's something I can consider. This is the big one, or well, Blue Traveler's big one. But this one looks interesting. Normal summon this card. You can only do discard normal Earth Machine from your hand. Yeah, a quick Xyz. That's pretty big. That makes this like a good normal summon other than Scrap. And it's looking like I might be able to make a deck without blocks. Switch yard. Okay. I'm going to look at the switch yard stuff, but if we're doing switch yard, this is just a pretty easy 3 of. What the hell, man? Every time I read that card, I go crazy. Attack equals defense. What of these cards attack? What of these cards does have attack equal to defense? That's actually Road Roller. That's not like a great summon, but that is interesting to note. I don't want to play. Man, the token's pretty big. Honestly, I care about the token more than anything else. But I don't think it's something I can justify realistically. What the hell is this card? Okay. Banish. Okay, Link monsters. So in this case, Switch Yard is level 10, a special summon. Activate this effect. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of the turn. There's a summon from your deck. Comes level 10. Yeah, that's hard to say no to. Train connection. This card's bad, right? Yeah, okay. What can I do with this then? Yeah, it's that chain. These are like hard bricks, so there's an argument to try to run 2 of those, but I don't think I want to. If I'm doing this, this is already going to be a pretty high ceiling, so I don't think I will need Xyz Armor Fortress. So I'm actually going to cut the Xyz Armor Fortress stuff. Let's see. I do probably want urgent schedule. What the hell is the right, this one, exceptional schedule. Add a special schedule to do. That's pretty messed up. It's 10 points. Is that worth it? I think it's worth it. Just letting me urgent schedule, because this is what it's special level 4, lower, and from your deck and defense position negate their effects. You can not declare attack. Set card field. Is this a hard once per turn? Yes, it is. Still, yeah, urgent schedule. It's pretty good. Nope, not what I was trying to do. This is, I think, as close as we're going to get to win the game. So what do we do with all of this? So we can make a bunch of rank 10s. What do we do with 8,000 rank 10s? Xyz. and they're almost always going to have to be machines. They may not have to be Earth machines, because some of these don't lock you into Earth machines, but... Okay, that's nuts. That's nuts. Right, I forgot about this card. Uh, sure, yeah, that's... Barrage Blast. What does Barrage Blast do? Oh. Sure, that's funny. That is probably going to have to be how this deck actually wins, because it can make a lot of control pieces, but I don't know how we win yet. Probably want some train stuff, and we're going to be doing some cutting. This is not going to be the... I'm not going to try to be running like a 60 card deck or anything like that. Machine tape monster control, attack you directly. Trade bonus card effect added. Yeah, that's good enough. Earth machine monster, normal special ability, special on this card from your hand. Like Dare Crane is probably worth it. It's probably like just a good card to have in hand. Okay, so what else do I do here? If only you had like some tuner stuff. Tuners would be nice. Or actually, what's Bullet Train? Here we go. Yeah, Bullet Train. There we go. Yeah, this one. I remember this kind of. That's good enough. I can run 2 of those. So what are we actually doing? Guess like heavy forward? Because this is the one that's right. Yeah, yeah. Add a... Which of these cards? Is this a card? No, a field. Okay. I swore there was a card that was there's a card that made Foolish Burial Goods a starter. Is it this one? No. No. But is it? Oh god, it's probably friggin' Machinex card, isn't it? Is it this one? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Oh. Fake, yeah, fake, freaking Earth Machiner. Lol. Clockwork Knight. I don't love that card, I'll be honest. I'll probably cut you. I'm definitely cutting box. This deck doesn't need box. This card's kind of a floodgate, isn't it? Huh. I probably want two. And then, yeah, that makes foolish. We don't have any points, so we can't just, like, full on into... Or we have 30 points, I should say. But yeah, foolish, and then we can just go full into, like, the craziest points we want. I guess... I should look into the Spriggan stuff, because I do remember... No, what's it called? Not Spriggans. Therion? Is that the card's name? What is this card's name, man? Too many points, man. Oh, it's a level 8. It's just an Omni Negate. I don't think I can say no to that. And this is highly searchable, isn't it? Well, actually, how do we get to this? Is there a way for us to get to this? I said that very confidently, and then I'm immediately like, I don't think we can search this, and if we can't search this... Because these all are, like, level 10s. Machine in your graveyard. Infinitrack. Yada. Push from the graveyard. This does add any Earth Machine. This does add any Infinitrack. So this is one way to search it. That's... Am I okay with spending 20 points on a card that only one of my cards can search? Can any of these get it? Monster Negate. Oh, this does get any Earth Machine. Okay, so it is kind of searchable. That's probably worth one then. In that case, I don't think I would need 3 heavy forward. I think I'm down to have just 2. Same with urgent schedule, I'm down to have just 2. I'd rather have exceptional schedule, right? Rolling switch yard, just a search target, I just need 1 of. This is a good card to have in hand. This is... Oh, this only needs... This only takes machines. That's a little rough, actually, huh? How am I going from a rank 4 into this, then? I swore there was a way. Huh. Ba 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 ba. Yugioh. Infernal's funny. That's a rock. You're a machine. What's the thing that gets a machine? I swore there was like a generic thing that got a earth machine. Huh. Or maybe just a machine? Dreadnought using this face-up card. Wait, one of these cards. Okay. Huh. I can do something with these. Huh. Well, then actually, this doesn't do what I want it to do, does it? Ba ba ba. This does do it, doesn't it? Oh, is this only for numbers, doesn't it? Ah! Fives? Hmm. Cyber Dragon Nova. Okay, yeah, that's not really anything. Okay. Dang. Then I think that is yet again another deck that doesn't actually work with this. Uh, Actually, you know what? There is a rank 4 deck in the format, isn't there? Well, it's not really a rank 4 deck, but it uses a lot of rank 4s. So let me... Okay. In this case... What's your name? Nope. There we go. 7th Ascension. Okay. And in this case... Doom Z. This is a deck that does use rank 4 monsters. Or this one's a rank 5, that's a bad choice. But, yeah, Deactorus is a rank 4. That's a pretty good effect, actually. This deck's pretty nastily pointed now, but it does get a lot of options. So I guess first I just need to chuck in everything that makes this deck function. So first I need Shark. Where are you? So this is a deck that is purely using 7th Tachyon as a way to get a starter without normal summoning. I'm pretty sure. So I'm probably not going to be running... Just run the default way to... I'll look at it, but I'm probably not running Vice Shark. Or not Vice Shark. What's the card I've been running? Abyss Shark. Well, actually, this card does just special summon itself, too. Yeah. But it does lock into water, so yeah, I'm not going to be running that. This is just purely Drake Shark. I'm doing Doom Z, so I gotta do the Medius package. Medius Appear, 15 points, that's fine. Nope, not what I was going for. Medius Appear. Oh my gosh. Why Geopro? Then step. And then Theo Realize. Yep. The next 15 points. And then all the cards that make this deck actually work. So Drastia. This is the 3-of, right? Target Doomsday to special summon this card. Yep. That's crazy. A Malth. So this is going to be a little bit different than I think a normal Doomsday build. So let me look up. So just in here, okay, I'm not going to be doing Magnet Warrior Doomsday. So, but this is at least a way to look at. I think this is a little bit different than what I'm going for, but this is an interesting way of going for it, right? This is just rank 4s all the way down, but yeah, and so he's using Alara, the Power Patron, and just one Amalf. I think I'm going to go a bit heavier into just this section, the Doomsday. I think this is actually probably better to just do rank 4s with Hero into the 60 card pile with no 2 hand traps. Yeah. This is actually unironically a better kind of deck than what I'm going for. But I don't really like this style of deck, so I think I'm going to go a bit heavier into the Doomsy, just pure engine. A moth and add a Doomsy monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah, that's fine. So one Durastrus, one Grafilario. So now we're at 70, so that's a little sad, but that'll be fine. Do we need to do? I'm actually a little bit curious. What did he run in terms of equips? One Raiders, three. Oh, just. And one Doomdirk? Oh, and one Adrastia. That makes sense. The equip cards are bad to draw. I do. One other Doomsy card in your hand or field. Especially from the extra deck for the storm, except for these monsters. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target one face-up monster. Oh, I do actually need to, first of all, get a... Silent Honor Arc. Okay. Because this is the search target for Seventh Tachyon to see, so I kind of need that, but... Before I get too ahead of myself, Raiders... Destroy one other Doomsday, do... Yeah, that makes sense. This is an interesting list for sure, for this kind of just pure combo style. Huh. Okay, yeah, well, I'm not running any art mages, so I don't think I can summon that. But, Doomsday change. Destruction. So, destroy one other Doomsday card in your hand. Inflict 500 damage to the controller equip monster. Doomsday monster could discard the following effects. Your opponent can destroy one of the base. None of these are hard onces. That's nice. Okay, so I think I went to Doomdirk because it's not awful to just like have. This is really good extension, but and then I do think I went 2 Raiders probably during main phase. Destroy one of the Doomsday card. Oh, you can only use one. That makes it a little bit harsher. Yeah, just full in on that, and then only one destruction. Then how many points is pre-mat? 3. That's really fun. Yeah, I think I am going to just go all in on that. We are at 79. This is a pretty clean deck already. I think this is where I just go from here 6 hand traps. And then just fill out the extra deck. Yeah, probably. What are the best... the things that's going to stop this going second... This deck has a lot of destruction, just doesn't have a lot of negation. So I don't need anything like Raigeki. I would want things like... Imperms, 12 points, right. How much is Valor? 8 points. It's really good. Can I justify it? Probably not. How much is Bell? Bell is like 3, right? 6. Yeah, I think I do need 3 bell. Uh, we lose to DD Crow, and this counters DD Crow. That's kind of where I'm at right now. 3 points left. A DD Crow of our own? No. What does actually stop us the most? Um, there's a lot that kind of sucks for us. Um, so if we're running into any issues, I think the biggest problems to us, it really is going to be the banishes, right? So that's where the bell comes in. So that's kind of all we can hope for, is hope that that gets rid of that. But if we're not running into that, then I guess the thing stopping us is really just more effects. So I guess what that's like towers. So what do we main deck one lava golem and then run, because I think that gives us enough points for, no, it gives us enough points for one dark ruler no more. Book of Eclipse. That's or no. What Taiyu, is that the one? Which is the one that flips everything? Is it Eclipse? Ooh, 3 points. Yeah, that's pretty big. I think we got to run that. Even just a one of is going to be the most impactful, and none of these cards are going to be searchable. So I think I'd rather run more unsearchable hand traps. It's not going to be pointed for or unpointed for long, but Illusion Gate. Kind of just have a variety in our opener, and then in our side, what we want just more spell interaction, because I think this is going to have to be it for like our monster, and just hope our main deck carries us the rest of the way. So then what that gives us, what, the cyclone, the double cyclone, because we want our things destroyed. Do we want to run this in the main deck over Illusion Gate? I think we do. I genuinely don't think a Illusion Gate's a very good card for us. But yeah, it's the rest on the side. Illusion Gate. Not having anything to do with graveyard decks is rough. I think we are going to be running Skull Meister. No, what's it called? Oh yeah, Skullmeister was just with a space. Which is not my preferred option, but you know, we take what we can get. More lava golems. Can we only need one of these, don't we? In that case, this should be 2 more Books of Tai or Eclipse. Why do I keep on getting those two mixed up all the time? That leaves us with 14 points, probably for the extra deck. We should figure out the extra deck first, actually. We could just run 2 of a lot of things, because this is pretty a one-note deck, and it helps us helps us with clip. Not that I think clip's going to be realistically a problem, but Drastius. How much is Exciton? Oh, 0 points. Cool, yeah. Give me 2 of those, baby. Is it Eclipse Twins that does what I think it does? Yeah, you can natural inventory from this card it'll do. This gives us something to do with a spent Deactorus. Nope, that is a rank 2, not her rank 5, not a rank 4. Well, we will be making more rank 4s probably, so this is probably worth it, but just as a one-of. Rank 4s, Gaga. I should probably just, to make this easier on myself. Nope, not the one. That's good enough. Just continue the chains. And this does let us do utopic stuff, right? So it's just like an OTK tool, because I actually don't know if we can OTK at the current point in time pretty easily. I think it needs like 2 cards, 3 cards to OTK. So what? One future or one utopic. Probably want a Draco future, right? I'll cut out the sideboard. We'll make do with the sideboard with what points we have left. We actually probably need 1 pre-mat. So yeah, we'll figure that out later. But Utopic Future is, I think, worth 20 as an Omni. It's not an Omni, right? It's a Spell Trap. It's a Monster Negate. I just got it completely wrong. Okay. That's pretty decent for us. Utopic Future, it'll do Rinkable Xyz Monster, okay, this is just a OTK cool. That's probably worth it. If it's not worth it, we'll find something else. So then it's just other rank 4s. Let's show us what we have that is pointed, so we can just see. What's this one do? Okay, we're not doing that. That's funny. I don't think that's worth it. So that's interesting. This gives us a grind game for 1 point. I don't hate that. I mean, we already have a grind game, but this gives us a better grind game if like our spells get banished. Like, yeah, I kind of like that. It's just an additional option. Garrus, this doesn't do anything for us, right? I don't love Yugaris for 10 points. If it was like 5, I'd say yeah. I don't think we could do that for 4. Alright. And then here, I think we do just try to double up on things for the purposes of clip. God forbid they print another Kashtira unicorn. Eclipse Twins. I doubt the second one of this will ever come up, but you know. Or actually, yeah, the second Gaga Magician's way more likely to come up. Hello? No, Eclipse Twins, get out of here. There we go. Alright. Now to hand traps. We have how many points? Enough to make this work. Bell. Okay, and I think that lets us... No, we get 2 of them. And then we have 2 points left over. What are the 2-point hand traps right now? Dark Ruler no more. That's actually probably worth it. That's not a hand trap. I don't know why I said hand trap, but you know, hand traps breakers. Do we want this in the main? No, this probably has to go on the side. Skullmeister can go in the main. 2 of those. There's enough graveyard decks that it sometimes comes up against. I'm happy doing that. I think Twin Twister is the one I'd want in main. If I have Twin Twister, do I need... Double Cyclone? Twin Twister is my going second option against like Omni Negate kind of decks that have like a bunch of spell negates. Actually, against either one of them, I would prefer Double Cyclone. I should just put Double Cyclone. I don't need Twin Twisters, I don't think. Illusion Gate. It's not good. I'd prefer Dark Hole, but I don't have the points for Dark Hole. Guess. Okay, yeah. Then I do need Lava Golem. There's enough decks with stupid stuff, and this just simplifies things. What are our other 0-point hand traps? Because we are out of points, correct? Yes, we are. Do I want to cut an emerald for, like... No, that's not worth it. What am I talking about? What are best hand traps I can find with nothing? I guess I could look to see what equip spells are like. Maybe anything, but like only going first. This is one I should know. Was it Living Fossil? What does this one do? Sure, yeah, that's this is a card that I feel actually this should probably go in the main deck, eh? And then I put the Double Cyclone in here because I really don't like the Double Cyclone. Actually, yeah, let me just 3 of those and then Skullmeisters too. Because Skullmeisters I would much prefer going second versus well, yeah, going second versus going first. Bells I want going first. Book of Eclipses are just so good that I'm okay with them being in my main deck. 2 more cards. I think I have enough Monster Disruption. I now need more spell. And I think that does leave me with Twin Twister. That's okay. I don't love this list, but for how awful of a session that was, I'm actually pretty okay with this, and we have 24 minutes to spare, so if we want to pause this and then take this to ladder, see what we can do with it. Yeah, I'll take a break here, and then when I come back, we'll hop on ladder and see what we can do.